Hello everyone, back again with movie and tune recap. Today, I'm going to explain an American survival horror film from 2023 titled Quid Games. Spoilers ahead, so watch out and take care. The movie opens with Jenna being chased by two people. Suddenly, one of them, Darnell, attacks Jenna and begins to choke her. However, she manages to hit him with a stick, breaking free. Jenna then pursues the other person, and when she falls, she brutally attacks her with a stone, smashing and brutally killing her. After that, Jenna continues running until she reaches a tree and sees a flag. Darnell once again attacks her, but she overpowers him and strangles him to death. As Jenna approaches the flag, a phone beneath it starts ringing and it's turned out to be the game master. When Jenna asks if she has won and can go home, the game master says no, as she cheated. In frustration, Jenna tries to flee, but a bullet hits her, killing her. The scene then shifts to Steve, a graduate who appears worried about something. Suddenly, he is approached by Amber, a fellow graduate. It turns out that Steve and Amber were in a relationship but broke up due to some reasons. However, Amber still has feelings for Steve and is trying to get back with him. During the conversation, both of them receive a message on their phones, inviting them to a party at the abandoned factory on Mill Street, leaving them to wonder who might have sent it. Meanwhile, in a library, Dana is chatting with her boyfriend, Tyler. They also receive the same message, and Dana suggests that maybe somebody from their high school sent them the invitation. However, Tyler suggests that it might be one of their college friends, Logan, as he always seemed a bit strange during high school. In a restaurant, Amber and her friends Michelle and Whitney discuss the mysterious message. They realize that everyone who received the message was friends with Logan, and they all suspect him to be behind it. When Whitney tries to call the number, a spooky version of a nursery rhyme plays from the phone, causing Michelle to freak out. Despite Michelle's reluctance to go, she is persuaded by her friends and eventually gives in. Later in the night, Whitney goes to Steve's home to share her discovery about the mysterious numbers and their associated locations. She reveals that the owner of the number was transferred to a private corporation a few years ago and that there's only one building they own. Steve expresses his excitement about going to a party at the abandoned factory with her. It becomes apparent that Steve and Whitney are in a relationship after breaking up with Amber. However, during a moment together, they are interrupted by Dana, who needs to use the toilet. Subsequently, all the friends head to the abandoned factory, and during their conversation, they are surprised to encounter Logan, who also received the same mysterious message as everyone else. As the group tries to figure out who sent the messages, three masked individuals suddenly appear before them. The leader expressed gratitude to the group for accepting the invitation and offered them drinks, which the group initially declined. However, Logan, true to his nerdy nature, approached the masked individuals, took a drink despite warnings, and started drinking. As the group hesitated, a door in the building opened, and the masked leader urged them to enter. Initially reluctant, the group decided to go inside after understanding the purpose of their visit to the abandoned house. Inside, they found themselves in a basement with music playing. Going with the flow, the group started dancing to the music. During this, Logan confessed his high school crush on Michelle, mentioning that she was challenging to talk to. Steve and Amber eventually joined the fun, and after the group danced and enjoyed themselves, they suddenly began feeling dizzy. It was at this moment that they realized they were about to face their worst nightmares. The group awakens in another basement, realizing they are locked in and trapped. As they attempt to understand their situation, the leader of the masked group starts speaking through a microphone installed in the basement. He discloses that they've been brought here to play a game, starting with musical chairs, and when Dana questions the consequences of refusing to play, there was no response. Despite the uncertainty, the group decides to engage in the game, and as the round of musical chairs commences, eerie music plays, signaling the intensity of the game. When the music stops, everyone is seated except for Logan. Suddenly, a dart flies in his direction, striking his neck and killing him, leaving the group in shock. The masked man then reveals that the dart contained a lethal chemical causing suffocation before death and instructs them to remove one chair for the next round. As the game continues, when the music stops just before Michelle is about to sit, Tyler pulls her away, taking her place. A dart is then shot at Michelle's chest, killing her instantly, leaving the group in shock once again. On the other hand, Tyler justifies his actions, stating it's about survival of the fittest. The masked leader announces that the next game requires a small team and urges them to reflect on why they are here. In a flashback, Tyler is shown engaging in a cruel act in college, while Michelle, Dana, and Whitney are seen being reprimanded by their school principal for locking their classmates in a restroom and recording the incident. However, the girls show no remorse for their actions. Back in the present day, the group reflects on their past actions and tries to identify who is responsible for their current predicament. Suddenly, the three masked individuals enter the room, signaling that they should be prepared for the next game. The next game announced is dodgeball, and the masked leader instructs the group to pick a partner. Tyler chooses Dana, Steve picks Amber, leaving Whitney without a partner, which supposedly means she will be eliminated. In a desperate attempt to survive, Whitney runs for her life with two masked individuals reluctantly pursuing her. She manages to hide, thinking she's safe, but one of the masked men locates her and takes her away. Before leaving the room, the leader warns the group that they have 2 minutes for the game, and anyone refusing to play will result in all of them dying. With time ticking, the group reluctantly engages in the dodgeball game, each person striving to stay alive. Surprisingly, they play well, and none of them are eliminated this time. During a moment of respite, Amber decides to share her observation about the masked individuals. She discloses to the group that these masked figures have specifically targeted them, meaning none of them will leave alive. Suddenly, Tyler, overcome with rage, begins shouting at their captors, challenging them to face him. In response, the room is filled with smoke, rendering the group unconscious once again. Upon awakening, they find themselves in the next room where the next game is set to take place, this time involving hopscotch. The ominous rule is that anyone stepping outside the circle will be killed. Dana goes first, followed by Steve, Amber, and then Tyler, and the friends successfully make it to the other side. The masked leader instructs them to do it backward. Dana goes first, followed by Steve and Amber. However, when it's Tyler's turn, he steps outside the box, and a dart is shot, killing him instantly. Tearfully, Dana approaches his lifeless body, revealing that none of them will be allowed to leave alive. Overwhelmed, she takes her own life with the dart. Then, Steve and Amber are taken to the final room for the last game, involving red light and green light, and Whitney, surprisingly alive, joins them this time. However, the situation takes a turn when the masked leader instructs Steve to reveal a secret to Amber. He has been having a sexual relationship with Whitney. This revelation leaves Amber disheartened, and she loses interest in Steve, focusing solely on the game, and as the game begins, Steve, Amber, and Whitney desperately try to survive. Unfortunately, when the leader shouts, "Red," Steve moves and is fatally shot by a dart. However, Amber and Whitney manage to reach the end. Just when they think it's over, Whitney is also struck by a dart, leaving Amber as the sole survivor. Later, the masked individuals reveal their faces to Amber, exposing them as their former college principal. The game was designed to ensure only one person survived, and despite Whitney's ability to play and survive until the end, she fell into the category of individuals disliked by the game designers due to her aggressive behavior and negative habits, leading to her elimination. They orchestrated this twisted game as payback for the misery the students caused them during their college years. The leader further revealed that they tailored the game to favor Amber because of her kind, calm, and decent nature, unlike the aggressiveness and terribleness of the others. They give Amber an ultimatum to join them, or they will have to kill her, and Amber, in response, requests her final wish, to say goodbye to her deceased friends. Approaching Whitney's lifeless body, She picks up a dart from the floor and uses it to eliminate each of them one by one. In the final scene, one of the individuals involved in the game's execution, seemingly searching for their accomplices, walks around. A door creaks open, and upon entering, screams emanate from the background. Okay guys, that's all about Quid Games from 2023. Thanks for watching, see you again in the next video.